So here's where we leave our shoes and take a pair of these and go to our room.
Hi.
All right, so this is the path up there to get to Refugio Scoiattoli, which doesn't seem like far.
Just 20 minutes.
Just 20 minutes, but we just walked from the car, the car down there and just up this road and I'm already tired. So it's very beautiful. But you could see I've got all the camera gear. Fashionable. All the camera gear. And Tiffany has all the clothes and stuff. Brand new backpack. So here we go. Insanely beautiful. It's just mind-blowing how pretty it is. The hills are full of so many types of wildflowers, and then they're so green with just so much stuff to see and look at here. The mountains, beautiful clouds. I mean, it is just so pretty. Checking in and getting settled, we went out to start exploring the area. From the vantage point of Refugio Scoiattoli, you pretty much have a 360-degree view of the whole valley and everything around you. The way we got there was to drive up a small road and park near Refugio Cinque Torri, then hike the mile up the road to Refugio Scoiattoli. But you can also take 5 Torri lift from down in the valley, and that will take you right to Refugio Scoiattoli by ski lift. The only problem with taking the lift is that it only runs certain times of the day, and we didn't want to be limited by that schedule. When going to an area for the first time, it's pretty exciting, especially when it's such a beautiful area. But that usually means it's been photographed a lot too. That can make it feel like there is nothing original to shoot. I kind of have to put that expectation aside and just be in the moment of the experience I'm having and not worry about what others have done. There will be time for originality once I'm more familiar with the area. Of course, I'm always trying to get good photographs, but if the light isn't right or the conditions aren't perfect and I get an okay photo, I can be happy with that. A lot of the photos I take are for reference for the paintings anyways, so as long as I get something that I can go back to the studio with and create a piece of art, I'm happy.
Okay, I'm recording.
We played around with doing some filming and getting a lot of B-roll, even though at this point in the project I didn't know I was going to have a YouTube channel or use the footage in this way. I did, however, think that I was going to do something more along the lines of a documentary, but the YouTube channel at some point made more sense. This trip was about exploring and becoming familiar with the Dolomites so that I could put that in contrast with the Eastern Sierra and the first part of the project. The next morning we got up early and went out to explore. We wandered around looking for compositions and things to photograph for the project. We wanted to get more familiar with the area and everything it had to offer, and that seemed to be a lot. Every direction you looked in, there seemed to be something beautiful to look at. There are numerous trails and paths to explore, and many of them take you through an open-air museum about World War I. This area saw a lot of fighting between the Italians and Austro-Hungarian troops during that time, and they've rebuilt a lot of the structures and trenches that were used in that area. They've also provided historical displays and markers so you can read about the exhibitions on view. You can explore the trenches and look inside the huts to get an idea of what life would have been like back then. A big difference compared to the outdoor enthusiast, rock climbing and skiing area that it is today. We took the paths all around the 5 towers, stopping along the way to enjoy the beautiful views and scenery. We took a lot of photos and videos, made a time lapse, and I got a lot of information and ideas for the project. But we quickly realized that we were probably not the smartest hikers in the area. Everybody else had hard hats on, and I guess the danger from falling rocks is a real thing. We made our way through the towers unscathed and back to the open fields, where we were probably safer. Except for the possibility of being bitten by a viper, which we saw several of. We headed back to the refugio and decided to relax and take a break before dinner. Most of the refugios in the Dolomites offer a half-board room, which means you get the room and breakfast and dinner. Refugio Scoiattoli has some of the best food I've had in all of Italy, and it was an excellent meal.
John, are you enjoying your pasta?
After that, it was time for another quick nap, then we headed out to catch what was looking to be a great sunset. It turned out to be awesome. It was absolutely beautiful, and I was glad that I had 2 cameras with me. I was able to shoot with a 70-200 as well as a 24-120 and be able to capture some wide and more telephoto shots. Peaks were lighting up all around us, and I was really happy that I had that 70-200 so I could zoom in and get close-ups of some of them. Not having to change lenses is crucial because the light moves fast at sunset, and if you're sitting there trying to change your lens, you might miss out on some really good shots. Overall, I was pretty happy with what I came away with from this trip. I now have a much better understanding of the Dolomites, and I'm eager to spend a lot more time there, exploring and working on the GRANDIOSE Project. Cinque Torri is a very beautiful area, and I feel like I got some of the better photographs from this trip when I was there. We definitely had some of the best lighting conditions from the trip while we were at this area. In the next video from the Dolomites, we conclude our 2018 trip by going to Alpe di Siusi and Saseda. So, if you liked this video, Consider subscribing and hit that bell so you can be notified when that next episode comes out. In 2020, I plan on releasing a video a week and really trying to grow the channel. If you have any comments or questions, I'd really appreciate them. And please, if you liked this, give it a like. Until next time, ciao.